Welcome to a Planet Doug behind the scenes technology video. I just want to demonstrate something that I do on a regular basis right now. I thought somebody out there in the world might find it interesting. So the problem that I'm solving is that in YouTube, it creates captions automatically. So when you click on the CC button for a YouTube video, it shows you the English words at the bottom, right? The captions. But they are generally pretty bad. There's no punctuation, the spelling is wrong, the place names are wrong, so many of the words are wrong. It's just not a very good set of captions. As subtitles, they're really quite poor. So I want to make sure that the captions are more accurate. And I figured out a way that I can use an AI to do this. But it does require a lot of steps. So for example, here I am in YouTube Studio for a new video that I just uploaded. And you have to wait for a while for YouTube to process the captions. And then you go to the languages page, and under languages, oddly enough, it never says captions anywhere. Like YouTube seems to use captions and subtitles interchangeably. Sometimes they mean the same thing, sometimes they mean different things. I can't quite figure it out. But in order for me to get the captions, I have to click on Edit Subtitles. And when I click on Edit Subtitles, I get this page. And right over here on the left are the subtitles that YouTube created automatically. And I don't know whether it's a like these are particularly bad captions or not, but let me dive into it and just take a look around here. So right here you can see that I has been repeated, and I basically been working on. That doesn't make any sense. That should be I have basically been working on, or something like that. So, and it says here applause, like every time there's any kind of background noise, in this case it's raining, and the sound of rain, the YouTube captions thinks it's applause. And this music, there's no music playing, but it's probably a car passing by. Any kind of weird noise, the YouTube captions system puts in things like music and applause. And anyway, this is going to be full of mistakes. So I have no idea why that's in there. That is so tasty, Anyway, they're not very good. And what I want to do is make these better. So what I do is take this and I copy it. Oh, there's a good one right there. Every time I say Kuala Lumpur, it always puts it in as koala, the animal, Kuala Lumpur, which is a very silly thing for a computer to do, because you'd think a computer would be smart enough to know that I don't mean Kuala Lumpur, it has to be Kuala, the city, the name of the city. But the YouTube captions system isn't very smart, but AI will be able to fix that. But AI is really, really dumb in its own way. I've learned that it makes its own type of mistake, so you have to give it really specific instructions. So over here in Google, Google keep notes for everything. I have a list of AI prompts that I use when I'm dealing with an AI, and this is the prompt that I use for correcting YouTube captions. Because what I discovered is if I just tell the AI to fix the spelling, remove filler words like and like take those out, and that's all I tell it to do, it tends to rewrite the whole thing. So even if the captions are like 10,000 words long, the AI will produce something that's half as long, like 5,000 words, because it removed 5,000 words. And I don't want it to remove words. I want it to be a word for word transcript, exactly how the video goes. Like everything I say in the video, I want the transcript to be accurate, but I want it to correct the spelling Anyway, I learned over time that you have to give it very specific instructions. So here, the very first line, only correct spelling errors. Only do that. And then I say, only remove filler words. So every time I say, take that out. And then I say, do not add, do not rephrase, do not rewrite, do not modify. Preserve the original wording, etc., etc. You have to be very, very specific. And then I say, add proper punctuation. Finally, add paragraph breaks. And then just to make it absolutely clear, I tell the AI, this is a video transcript. So maintain the exact spoken words. And finally, if a place name or term is unclear, use Google Maps or a web search to confirm the correct spelling, but do not alter the context or surrounding words. So it feels like I'm speaking to a dummy, but you really have to treat AIs that way. And to be honest, well, I came up with this prompt because the AI was never doing what I wanted it to do. And then I asked the AI to create its own prompt. I told the AI that it was making all these mistakes. So I told the AI, like, create your own prompt for telling you how to do this properly. And then the AI wrote this. So this is what I've been using. And I can use DeepSeek or ChatGPT or Grok, and they all have advantages and disadvantages. I found out that ChatGPT is useless because it won't accept a long document. You can put in like a 10,000 word transcript or captions, and it just won't accept it. So ChatGPT doesn't work at all. Grok will accept a long document, but Grok can do weird things sometimes. It misunderstands instructions. And honestly, I find the best one for this is DeepSeek. So what I'm going to do is take this, copy it, and open up DeepSeek. So this is DeepSeek. I enter it into DeepSeek. So there is my prompt. I'm telling DeepSeek what to do, and then I say, here is the transcript to correct. Now I've got to go back to my video here, Control A to select all of the captions, then copy, and then I go back to DeepSeek and insert the captions. Here they are. So these are all the captions that I want DeepSeek to correct. And then you just hit the go button and you wait for DeepSeek to finish. But one trick with DeepSeek is that it only does it a little bit at a time, and it keeps stopping. And then every time it stops, you have to click on the continue button. So you kind of have to monitor it. Grok will do it automatically, and it will do the whole thing all at one time. But I find Grok keeps rewriting and rephrasing. Like, it just can't help itself. It wants to improve what I said and make it shorter and more concise. Even though I keep telling it over and over again, this is a transcript and it has to be exactly the same word for word. Just fix the spelling and add punctuation. That's all I want you to do. But Grok can't help itself, and it keeps deleting stuff and rewriting it no matter how hard I try to get it to not do that. So I use a DeepSeek most of the time. But right now, okay, I'm just going to wait for DeepSeek to do its thing. Okay, DeepSeek has finished part of the job, and I noticed it didn't really do as good a job as I would like so far. So I may have to go back and fix a bunch of things. But you can see it stopped here in the middle of the captions, and it just stopped. It has memory limitations, right? So now I have to click on this continue button to tell it I want to continue and correct the rest of the document. So you just click on continue, it thinks for a second, and then it starts all over again. So you have to monitor it, and you have to keep hitting the continue button until it is completely finished. And if you, there's a bit of a time limit on there too. If you don't click on the continue button soon enough, it will actually forget what it was doing, and then you'll have to start all over again from the beginning. And now we got to the second stop in this job. So it's like here you can see I did get the, so it clearly didn't get to the end of the job, and it just did this, the next part of it, and I have to click on continue again. And hopefully it picks up where it left off. I'm waiting. There we go. So we just sit back and let DeepSeek do its thing. And there we are. It's DeepSeek is all done. You can see, I know that that's the last thing I said. I often say at the end of my videos, shutting down, and I'll see you later. And there's no more continue button, so I know this has gotten to the end. And it's quite a long document, as you can see. I find DeepSeek does put things into very big paragraphs. Like there's no way that should all be one paragraph. If I used Grok, it would divide it up into more sensible paragraphs, I think. I may do this whole thing again using Grok, because I'm not sure I like the job that DeepSeek did here. But anyway, just for demonstration purposes, at this point there's a copy button here to copy this entire post. And then I have to go back to here, and with this highlighted, I just paste the transcript. And now this is the corrected version from DeepSeek. And if we go all the way back to the beginning, we should see right there, for example, koala, the animal Lumpur, has been corrected to Kuala Lumpur, the correct spelling. And then punctuation has been added, and the spelling has been corrected all the way through. So once all of this is done, and I've saved everything here, like everything looks good, you have to click on the publish button for some reason. I don't really know what I'm doing, why I'm publishing it, but now YouTube needs more time to process this because it has to figure out the timing and connect it with the video. And so you click on publish, and now YouTube will take what I added as new subtitles and get the timing proper. And that's basically what I do. Basically, you take the captions, the YouTube captions, copy and paste them into an AI, and tell the AI basically to fix it up, correct the spelling, the punctuation, place names, spacing, things like that. And then once the AI is finished, copy and paste it back into YouTube, and then the captions will be much better. They won't be perfect. To make them perfect, to be honest, I would have to read through this entire thing and line by line clean up the little things that DeepSeek missed. But I already spend so much time on all these things to do with these videos that I don't mind a few little mistakes here and there. The captions at the beginning are so terrible that what I get here from the AI is way better, and I'm happy with this result. So that's it. That is how I correct the YouTube captions using an AI.